Hello, everybody. You're welcome to another episode of Inspiring Startups brought to you by the Business and Financial Times. Today, we are at Sea Line View, located at McCarthy. They make the best meals, but we're going to be having a conversation with one gentleman who has decided to be innovative in the delivery service space. Come along with me. Let's talk to him. Sea Line View is a space that provides you with a complete package for relaxation, entertainment, delicious food, and an amazing view of the Atlantic Ocean. It is made up of a restaurant, beautiful African themed rooms, a spa, and a well-kept garden for all event needs. Sea Line View is here to provide experiences for the people of McCarthy Hill and its surrounding environments, Accra, Ghana, and beyond. Sea Line View is located at number 6 5th Avenue, McCarthy Hill in Accra. Opening hours are 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. For further inquiries, kindly send a message to the Instagram page Sea Line View GH or call 055 175 7070. So I've joined Dimitri Opoku here at his table at Sea Line View, located at McCarthy, and we are here to talk about his company called Myles. He's going to tell us everything about it. It is a delivery service company with a little twist to it. You're welcome, Dimitri.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, your name.
Yes.
Yes, Dimitri. I don't think I've ever heard a name like that before. It's
Yeah.
my first time.
Yeah.
And I should believe that it's a lot of people's first time. Don't bring the periodic table. But anyway, tell us about yourself. Tell
Okay.
us about yourself.
Sure.
Your full name, where you grew up, and then where you had your education.
Sure. So my name is Dimitri Opoku. I grew up in Ghana. I was born in the U.S. Been in Ghana. Had most of my basic education here. After high school, I moved to the States to have my bachelor's degree, and I've been living there since.
Okay. Where was your high school?
Marley School in Hull.
Oh, okay. And what did you study in school?
So yeah, I actually was a visual arts student in high school, but then in college, I actually obtained my bachelor's degree in management information systems. I know it's totally different areas.
Wait.
But go ahead.
What brought that? Like, why did you do information? Why? What's there's like a vast difference.
For sure. So I can get into it. So originally when I applied to college, I wanted to be a computer science major, but I'd realized the physics and the math wasn't something I could really handle. And then I was exploring, I dipped my toe in history for a bit, but the career options, I guess, weren't viable for me personally. And then I came across MIS, Management Information Systems. What it does is basically bridges the gap between business and information technology.
Okay.
So in a sense, it's giving you the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And that was my reason for going towards that direction and ending up getting my degree in there.
Okay, we'll come back to the educational system over there compared to Ghana here, but
For sure.
I want you to take us through the journey. So you're done with secondary school. You went to college.
Yep.
You learned management and information studies.
Yep.
After school, what was the plan for you?
So I always thought I was just, going to like get into the system, and in the sense what I mean by that is just, after you get your bachelor's degree, the expectation is that you find a well-paying job and just grow from within. And then this is going to take me a while back. I remember actually in one of my business classes, we had talked about entrepreneurship, and then it hit me that is this something I would want to do. Originally, it wasn't something I really made up my mind to do, and I actually told myself that if it's something I may get into, it would definitely be in Ghana.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I'm actually working on something now.
Why Ghana?
I just felt like if I was going to be an entrepreneur, it would be a social entrepreneur in the sense that my product or service that I'm going to bring to the market should have some, not necessarily solve a problem, but also provide some value at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, that was it.
That was mostly my inspiration, and also my love for technology, which was actually why I majored, or at least originally went into college for computer science. I realized, maybe not as much as I thought.
Decided to do something in the
exactly.
area.
So I was
get
like,
it.
I guess with business I could complement it, because
Yeah.
like I also have like a knack for just reading business articles. I actually do some personal investing on the side, stock markets and stuff. So I figured why not complement both since I have an interest in
Yeah.
that. Yep.
I like that.
Thank you.
So, you're done with college.
Yes.
At which point did you decide to come back to Ghana?
Well, coming back to Ghana has always been a thing.
Not necessarily just coming back,
Yep.
but coming back to start up Myles.
Okay, so I think this idea really came around during the COVID, when COVID lockdown actually went into effect. I believe was March of 2020 for
Yeah.
most places. Yeah, that's when so actually before that, the Ghanaian tech scene is something I've always been keeping an eye on, and I'm actually impressed with the work that they're doing this for, particularly in the logistics last mile delivery
Yeah.
space. So going back to what I said before, during the COVID situation, I saw that these types of services were very viable, particularly in Ghana, because it facilitated the movement of goods and services
Yeah.
to and from.
Yeah.
However, a gap I detected was really where the inspiration for Myles came from. The gap I detected was that some customers usually are waiting at home for packages,
Yeah.
which could be inconvenient because
Yeah.
that's time they could be using to do something beneficial.
And you
So
don't know where your order is and
exactly,
all that. Yeah.
those are the underlying issues as well. So I came up with this idea. Actually, I took inspiration from a similar type of service that is operating out there.
Okay.
That maybe if we were supposed to provide like an alternative address,
Yep.
in the sense a pick-up drop-off point, that if a customer is not going to be at home due to other activities they might engage in, why not send the package to an alternative address that will be secure
Yeah.
and convenient for them as far as like how they'll be available to pick it up.
Yeah.
If we could set a system in place for that, maybe customers would be willing to use this service.
That's actually very innovative because we've had tons and tons of people who complain about the fact that their deliveries don't arrive on time.
Right.
Or even in time.
Yep.
So they are just waiting since morning.
Yep.
And they call the company and they're like, oh, it will come. Then the delivery guy has to do some other deliveries somewhere before
Right.
coming. And it arrives late and then it wastes your whole day. So that's actually very innovative and quite impressive.
Thank you.
I want to find out from you now, how did the whole Myles company start? Just walk us through the journey and even why the name Myles.
Okay, so I can get into the name real quick. So
Oh, there was a pun intended over there.
I'm glad you figured it out already. Good job. That was partly it, and also Myles happens to be the name of this old Spartan king. I'm into like Greek mythology, history, stuff like that.
Okay.
And Myles also happens to be the name of this old Spartan king. He's not really known for anything per se, but I guess that was also the inspiration for the name
Yeah.
and the pun, like you addressed.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
And then how like this actually started to become a thing, or at least to get to the point we are now, is I basically came up with the business plan, like put something on paper, how it would work, the necessary things I needed to see it through, at least to get like some sort of working version of it. And then the next thing was obviously putting up a development team. My knowledge in MIS has been very impactful, particularly in this area. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't very hands-on or didn't take in a lot of coding classes, so I knew I had to bring in people who were experts in that area. So I kind of took an unconventional way to it, if you think about it. I reached out, I just went on my LinkedIn page, put on a couple of filters and just went through the list of people I thought would be good partners to bring onto something like this.
Yeah.
And I met one guy, Ben. We communicated, we set up a meeting, communicated. He was intrigued on this service and the impact it would have, particularly in the Ghanaian market.
Yeah.
And he was basically my first developer that I brought on.
Oh.
Through further communications, I was able to grow the development team. And then as a result, we were able to come up with a plan as to where we want to be within this time frame. So it involved a lot of meetings, doing works, setting up Scrum meetings to build the product, and then constantly checking in with the development team to ensure that they are meeting the acceptance criteria. So yeah, all of that led to us building a working version within the space of 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Since incorporation, which was something we started July 2021 of last year. We were able to come up with a working version of the service at the end of the year, December.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And now Myles is here. Tell me about Myles. How does it work?
Okay, so the way the Myles app is intended to work is basically to provide visibility, particularly on the consumer's front end. So once an order is placed using your traditional e-commerce platform or even using the Facebook shops or Instagram shops. With the app, it allows you to get real-time updates of where your package is in transit. So again, what that's doing is basically eliminating the communication between the
Yes.
rider and the consumer. Like, where's my package?
Yes.
So because you're able to get
I'm
those.
on the bike. I'm coming, madam.
Exactly.
The police have already those things.
You should be seeing little to no existence of that issue, particularly with the mobile app. And even if you were not to get the mobile app, we've been able to set up text, email notifications. So even if you are not, if you're unfortunate to own a smartphone, you still be able to be notified in real time where your package is at the exact moment. And again, we complemented it really with the pickup drop-off concept. Again, assuming you know you are going to be at work for this time period, but you also need this item at the same time. The customer could conveniently coordinate how they will pick up their package. So assuming they lived in, let's say, Accra and they worked at Teshi, they could still place that order and just coordinate how they pick it up. So assuming there was a pickup drop-off point on their way home, they could just schedule the package to be delivered there. Once they get the confirmation that it's there, on their way back home, it's just a matter of making a stop there to pick it up and continue back home.
Yeah, I get that. That's really cool.
Thank you.
So I go on App Store, Play Store. Are they on both? Is it on both?
Yeah, they are both going to be on both operating
So
services.
I go there, I search for Myles.
Yep.
I download the app.
Yep.
I sign up.
Yep.
And then I place my order.
Yep.
Can you tell me about charges? Does it mean with this innovative part of it?
Yep.
Does it make the charging competitive? Are the charges lower? Are they the same? What goes into pricing for the charges?
So at this current stage, the focus really is more on convenience. I feel like with the pricing, it might be competitive in the sense that the way the pickup drop-off concept is being ideated is that our partners, these are any retailer, anyone who sells items in their store. So you can think of a barber shop, a bookshop, a hair salon. The idea is that we are going to sublease some space in their area so they can hold
The
packages. So right then there you see the benefits for the retailers because we are basically giving them visibility and also some source of revenue because they are subleasing a piece of their estate for us to facilitate the service. So that's the benefits, at least on the partner side. And on the consumer side, it's just the convenience and the security. The partners that we are going to set up as pickup drop-off points, we are going to ensure that these are secure locations that packages can be picked up from conveniently and seamlessly from the customer. So that's something that's going to transfer, I guess, both on the consumer and on the pickup drop-off side.
All right, so I want you to elaborate more about the change of location, drop-off, pick-off point. If somebody lives, let's say, in Teshi, as you used earlier, and now the person changes location because they have to be at work or they have to do something, and then they leave and then they change the location, but the delivery guy is already on his way and routes the place. When they change the location to a place like La Paz, how does it play out for both the consumer, the rider, and even for yourself as Myles?
So the whole pickup drop-offs concept really was set up to provide that flexibility for the consumer. So to answer that question, like in the event where a customer's location has changed, so they want the pickup drop-off location changed from, like, say, Teshi to La Paz, we have the system in place to facilitate that. Obviously, there's going to be a change in prices because of the new location. All of the distance and what have you will be accounted for. But at the end of the day, it's really on the customer to ensure that it's something that will be feasible for them.
And convenient for them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So this sounds like a very great concept. I like the fact that customers get to pay for convenience.
Yep.
And so in Ghana, people complain a lot, both businesses and consumers. They complain a lot about the fact that delivery charges are very high. Now, if I'm paying for something this expensive, then it should come at my convenience. It shouldn't be something that it will be at my expense. So I really like the fact that Myles has, bridged the gap over there. So now all I have to do is change my location, do whatever I have to do, and you take care of it.
Essentially.
And you've assured us of security of the drop-off points. So moving on, I want to find out what your challenges have been with Myles.
So at the stage that we are, I think it's very important that we are able to bring in the necessary people with the skills, just so we are able to take Miles to the place that it needs to be. I can say that's been a challenge, but I feel like if we take the proper plans, we plan ahead, or we be able to know the skills you're looking for, and then as far as like the time wastage on that part, we are able to like execute. A good example would be a recent person, a new person I brought in. Well, he's actually been with the team, but because I knew what he was capable of and the work he's done so far, I was able to see that he would be a good fit for the role. So that basically streamlined that whole recruitment process to like a few hours, if you ask me, because I feel like that's time that we could put to building or making the experience better for customer versus just making sure that we are bringing the right person in.
Yes, yes. I'm actually surprised that you mentioned you took your challenges from this aspect, because most of the time people see funding as the major challenge. How are you funding Myles?
Currently, we are doing it's bootstrapping. At this stage, I think it's working out for us. But if we see the need to look outside for some source of funding, we will definitely take it.
Great, awesome. I want to find out how education has, helped you in your journey of establishing Myles.
I'm very grateful for the education that I've had, particularly the fact that I did most of my basic education in Ghana and furthered my education in the US. I've gotten, I guess you could say, the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say education is very essential, particularly in the world that we live in. Like cognitive and technical skills are skills that you would use in everyday life, really, not necessarily in a classroom or business type setting.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I actually believe that if people take their education seriously, it will allow them, or even open many opportunities for them, regardless of if you're trying to start your own business or just grow from within your current position in the company.
Yeah, I like the fact that you chipped in that you've had the best of both worlds. I want us to talk about government's inputs when it comes to the entrepreneurial space. What do you think government should do or can do to boost the entrepreneurial space in Ghana here?
So I'm aware of the Youth Start initiative under the Ghana Cares program. I believe that's what it intends to do. But I think a lot more could be done by partnership or collaborations with private enterprise.
Yeah.
I also think if the government can set up regulatory guidelines that will basically allow or facilitate startups or startup ventures to ideate quickly and put their products to market quickly. The reason why I say that is that there has been a hurdle, particularly with us, just like to ensure that we are able to test our product in the market. And particularly the fact that we are going to be working with real people, which means they'll be giving us personal information and stuff like that. I feel like it will be in the government's best interest to ensure that these people are also protected on that front.
Data protection.
Yep,
Yeah.
essentially. Yep, also.
Yeah, great. What does the future look like for Myles?
Future for Myles. Well, I'm hoping we do see some patronage in this service model, particularly the pick-up drop-off concept. I'm hoping we get some traction in that, and then with user feedback, we can take that in to better build a great experience, and also on the partner side, establish a network of trust, a network of community, because all of these partnerships that we have actually set up to ensure that we are able to provide this seamless, convenient service on the cost for the customer is essentially going to be based or work well if we can trust each other to meet our ends.
Yeah, yeah, great. Wow, it's been amazing talking to you. I really like what you're doing, and I really, really hope that you break even and you break through, because the research tells us that startups usually do not survive beyond the third year. So I wish you all the best. I know that wouldn't be your portion. We cast away every negative energy.
Thank you so much.
But I wish you all the best, and I really hope that Myles grows to become a global brand. Okay, so any social media handles, where can we find Myles on social media, contact details, everything? Just put it out there.
Sure. So you can find Myles on most social media platforms. Facebook, you could just search Myles. For Twitter, it's Myles_Pudo, Pudo. Instagram is Myles.Pudo, Pudo.
Pudo.
Yep.
What does it mean?
Pick up drop off.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
Okay.
And our email myles.pudo@gmail.com. website mylespudo.com.
Okay. Contact.
Contact, it's email right now, miles.pudo@gmail.com.
Okay. So if you want to get in touch with Myles, please contact them on any of their social media handles, or you can also send an email as he mentioned earlier. I've been having a conversation with Dimitri Opoku. He is the CEO and the founder of Myles, and we've been having this conversation at Sea Line View. Sea Line View is located at McCarthy. It's a very beautiful view, serene environment, great food, good taste, great vibes. My name is Lilipearl Baaba Otoo, and this is Inspiring Startups.